$25,000 per property. That's the uninsured risk Los Angeles real estate investors are ignoring right now. Most investors believe their standard insurance and title policies protect them completely. They don't. And by the time you realize what's missing, you could be facing a $100,000 plus loss across your portfolio. Here's the problem. The California Department of Insurance reported in 2022 that LA area real estate investors face uninsured exposure averaging $25,000 per single property. For a portfolio of just 4 properties, that's $100,000 in blind spots. The gap between what you think is covered and what actually is covered could crater your returns by 10-20% the moment a claim hits. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what those uninsured risks are, how they cascade through your portfolio, and 3 strategies that professional LA investors use to close the gap. Let's start with the first uninsured exposure: liability gaps in standard landlord policies. Data from the National Association of Realtors shows that 34% of LA property investors discovered coverage gaps only after an incident occurred, meaning they were already exposed. Standard homeowners and landlord policies exclude specific rental use scenarios. Environmental liability, seismic damage in older structures, certain tenant-related claims, these slip through. A single wrongful eviction lawsuit, a mold claim, or a slip-and-fall incident in a common area can cost $15,000 to $30,000 in legal defense alone before settlement. Your standard policy doesn't touch it. The second uninsured risk is market-specific: earthquake and flood exposure in LA County. The U.S. Geological Survey confirms that 28% of LA properties sit in high-risk seismic zones. Standard homeowners insurance excludes earthquake damage entirely. Flood insurance requires a separate policy, but many investors skip it or underestimate their actual exposure. A 6.5+ magnitude earthquake could trigger $50,000 plus in structural damage on a $400,000 property. If that property sits in a flood-prone zone near downtown LA or in the San Fernando Valley, you're facing dual uninsured exposure. The math: property value drops 10-15% if disclosed risks aren't mitigated, which means your $400,000 asset becomes $340,000 overnight. Here's where the delta hits hardest. If you own 3 properties averaging $350,000 each and carry uninsured risk on all 3, a single major claim or market correction could wipe out $75,000 to $100,000 in equity. The third uninsured exposure is HOA and zoning liability. In LA County, 62% of properties sit in HOA zones or have deed restrictions. If you're unaware of pending assessments, lien violations, or zoning disputes, you inherit liability instantly upon purchase. LA County Assessor's data shows HOA-related disputes average $12,000 in legal costs alone. Add a $20,000 plus special assessment, and suddenly that property is carrying $32,000 in unanticipated liability. Now, how do you mitigate this? First, upgrade to specialized investor liability coverage. Standard landlord policies run $800-1,200 annually. Comprehensive real estate investor liability policies run $1,400-2,000. The extra $600-800 per year closes 70-80% of common exposure gaps. This is non-negotiable if you're holding multiple properties. Second, obtain separate earthquake and flood insurance for any property in high-risk zones. Yes, this adds $1,200-2,400 per property annually depending on location, but the alternative, losing $50,000 plus to a single event, makes the premium invisible. Third, conduct a pre-purchase seismic and flood audit for every property, especially in LA. This costs $1,500-3,000 per property upfront, but reveals hidden liabilities before you buy. You can then price risk into your offer or walk away entirely. The research is clear. LA real estate investors who account for these uninsured risks maintain 15-20% higher portfolio stability than those who don't. If you want the full mitigation checklist and the implementation framework, the deep version is in the companion book, The HOA Tax Trap, link in the description. Here's the bottom line: the $25,000 uninsured risk per property isn't theoretical. It's baked into LA's market right now. You can ignore it and hope nothing happens, or you can spend $2,000-3,000 per property today to protect yourself from $50,000 plus losses tomorrow. If this breakdown changed how you're thinking about LA real estate, hit subscribe. I'm dropping a video next week on cap rate distortion in California's high-demand markets, the math that actually determines if a deal works. Ring the bell so you don't miss it. What's the biggest risk you've encountered in your LA real estate journey? Drop it in the comments below. Real Estate Rewards Research. See you in the next deal.